Listeners, good evening.
That is Mrs. Jan Kamara, the country manager of Christian Aid Sierra Leone, and she's part of tonight's program to help us understand what this movement is all about.
Viewers and listeners, good evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
That is Sheikh Ibrahim Sise from ISLAG. I am your host and moderator, Reverend Jibril Akagbo, part of the steering committee for the launch of the faith movement for gender justice in Sierra Leone. And I want to let you know it's coming to you courtesy of the Council of Churches in Sierra Leone with support from Christian Aid Sierra Leone. Earlier today at the Castle Hall, a press conference was done with CCSL and CSL making statements to the press and faith leaders endorsing and affirming the launch of this movement. Helping us and starting tonight on the issues, I want to bring in the country manager, Mrs. Jan Kamara, to let us know what this thing is all about. The side-by-side faith movement for gender justice in Sierra Leone. Over to you, Mrs. Kamara.
Thank you very much, Reverend Jibrila. Good evening, listeners, again. I'd just like to take you through why side-by-side. Side-by-side is a growing global movement of people of faith who want to see gender justice become a reality. And the drivers for side-by-side actually have been the old MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals, and more recently, the Sustainable Development Goals, and Goal number 5 actually looks at the issue of gender justice. And we believe that in a world where men and women need to coexist to ensure that each other have the fullness of life according to our scriptures, both in the Bible and in the Quran, we feel that it is about time that we begin to galvanize and to mobilize our faith leaders to ensure that they begin to advocate and lobby for issues which are affecting gender inequality in Sierra Leone.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kamara. That is a wonderful and awesome way of presenting the issues and presenting faith leaders as being the panacea to the problems of the nation. Let me bring in Sheikh Ibrahim Sise from that background presented by Mrs. Kamara. I want to ask, Sheikh, you've heard what Mrs. Kamara said and how important it is for faith leaders to be involved in a movement of this nature. Do you think you're up to the task coming from the Muslim faith as one of the partners involved in this movement, the side-by-side faith movement for gender justice in Sierra Leone?
Thank you very much, moderator. Yes, in the beginning, we know the creator of the world is the God Almighty Allah, and all what exists in this world created by Allah. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the world, He created Adam as the very first human being. As Allah is saying that in Surah 4, coincidentally, this surah is the surah of the women. We have 114 chapters of the Quran. We don't have surah of men, but we have surah of women. Surah 4 of the Quran, the very first verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nas, ittaqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahida. وخلق منها زوجها وبعث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here, O you mankind, fear your Lord, the God who created you from a single soul, that the soul of Adam, and He created out of that soul his partner. So Allah referred to the woman as partner to man, and not slave to him or to use him in any other way, but partner. So they should work together, side by side, hand in hand, complement each other. Each and everyone has his or her own role to play. So all these rights exist between both man and woman.
Okay, thank you so much, Sheikh. It's been wonderful presenting the issues in terms of why it is important to have this movement established in Sierra Leone. Let me move over to Reverend Sutton Koma. The program, the movement is to be launched tomorrow. Mm-hmm. People are asking, what should be expected tomorrow? Where is it going to happen? And who are going to be involved in the launch of this laudable venture?
Well, it's good they ask the question. People need to know. This wonderful launch of this movement of Side by Side will be launched tomorrow, starting at 9:30 at the Western District Women's Fellowship Hall, the Methodist Hall at Brookfields, what we call the Kingaman Road, by going towards the junction of the light, as usually call that place. At the CCSL compound, back of the CCSL compound, you have that blue building, new blue building you see. That is where the program will be launched tomorrow. And in that program, we have all stakeholders that will be present. We have the media, we have all the religious groups. We also have the various arms of religious groups. We have the major arms, the four major arms, the Pentecostal, the CCSL, EFSL, you name it, SEND, and all the rest of it will be there tomorrow. We also have the traditional healers. We have the traditional leaders, the chiefs, and all the rest of it will be there. We have the various other groups, that Islamic and Christian groups that will be present in this program tomorrow. So it's going to be a very big launching program. So that is how it will be tomorrow, and it will also be aired for you to see how it went.